bringing our chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce, our chief Washington correspondent, John Karl. Mary, you got caught up in all those storms yesterday, but let's talk about the speech tonight with President Biden. Going to be a bittersweet moment for him, but he'll get a lot of love in that hall.
He will, and bittersweet is exactly the right word for this. I mean, imagine just a month ago, Joe Biden thought this was going to be his convention, and now instead tonight he's going to walk out on that stage and pass the torch to Kamala Harris. He will tout the accomplishments that he and Harris have achieved together, make clear he thinks she is the future of the party, and of course he has been praised for his decision to bow out of the race and endorse Harris, even though the party didn't exactly give him a whole lot of choice in the matter. So this is going to be an emotional moment for him, also a chance for him to cement his legacy. This is likely the largest audience he's going to have as his now 50-plus year career in politics, begins to wind down. And the challenge then for Harris is to take that baton, run on her record with Biden, but also make clear what she would do differently and make this her own.
And John, you and I have been covering politics for a long time. It's really hard to think of a more consequential summer in American politics. You go back to that debate less than 2 months ago, June 27th.
I mean, we have an entirely different race than we had a month ago. This is a transformed election. This convention is entirely transformed. I mean, a month ago, they had to rip up a script they had effectively been working on, really, George, starting to work on this convention 2 years ago. Now you have Kamala Harris, who was a vice president standing in the shadows of an unpopular president, now suddenly the undisputed leader of a newly energized Democratic Party. And George, what I would look for here is Harris, as Mary suggested, to subtly but clearly distance herself from Joe Biden, and interestingly, also from herself and from the positions she took when she ran in an ill-fated campaign 4 years ago for the Democratic nomination as somebody at the far left of the party. Now she is a transformational figure, or wants to be one, who can appeal to the left of her party, the center of her party, and also to disaffected Republicans unhappy with Donald Trump.
Meantime, John, former President Trump seems to be disoriented by the change. His team keeps saying focus on the issues. He keeps focusing on Kamala Harris.
Yeah, and he really has been thrown off his game. You've heard him complain privately and publicly about the fact that Biden was swapped out. They were prepared to run against Biden. Republicans have a clear strategy. That is, focus on the issues. As you heard Rick say, you have Republicans. Trump has an advantage on crime, on the border, on the economy, but he is not focusing on the issues. His is all about attack, attack, attack. Personally attack and attack some more.
Okay, John, thanks very much. We're going to, of course, have team coverage of the Democratic National Convention all week long. Begins tonight, streaming on ABC News Live at 7 Eastern, then here on the network at 10.